What is going on, guys? It's your boy icjosh, and we are here to talk about the Series X and the PlayStation 5. I know it's something different than we normally do on the channel, but I wanted to talk about these consoles because without getting into the video and stuff like that, I just want to say brand loyalty is not a factor on this video. As a matter of fact, it's normally never a factor whenever I go in and watch the streams and stuff like that, because I like to be like, okay, PlayStation has stuff that I want to see and Xbox has stuff that I want to see, and I like both of them. So there's no brand loyalty stuff going on right now. I do currently own an Xbox, and I'm going to buy the Xbox first, but I plan on getting a PlayStation later on too as well. So as someone that wants to own both consoles, I'm coming in this unbiased, and you should come in this unbiased as well. That way you can acknowledge what's good and what's not good and stuff like that, and you know, not be the fanboy, because no one wants to see you fanboy. Nobody wants to see you fanboy showing. It's this big, nobody wants to see fanboyism. So if you guys do enjoy the video, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because seriously, it does help the channel grow, and it helps every channel and stuff like that. So definitely comment all that good stuff. I mean, yeah, you can comment your team, Xbox or PlayStation and stuff like that, but if you do, at least say something good about the other console. You know, just say something good, because the more and more I look at the Xbox and also the PlayStation, the more I look at both these consoles, it's the aesthetics is actually growing on me a lot more. And I know some people probably won't see it that way, but it's growing on me a lot more. I mean, yeah, I know the Xbox is a refrigerator, and I know the PlayStation 5 is the router, but if you like your setups and you value your setups and making your, like, you know, man cave, woman cave, or you know, just your living room look good, they're really gonna look good on like your entertainment system. Like, if you know, if you got your TV mounted or not, you know, they're gonna look good right beside your big TV and stuff like that. I mean, Xbox, I think it's gonna glow green at the top, and then the PlayStation, I think all this right here, yeah, in the side is blue and stuff like that. I mean, you would think that I'm rocking blue as well too. You would think that I'd be like team PlayStation all the way because of this one, but I also think that if you don't like the white version, I think there might be a black version or stuff like that. You might be able to change it. I don't know, but I could have swore I thought I seen a black version. So and I seen a white version of the Xbox too. So I don't know. Both of these consoles are going to be great, and I do think that we're in this situation where you have PlayStation and Xbox that do acknowledge that both are a threat this console war. And before fanboys go, whoa, PlayStation has no threat or Xbox has no threat, if there was not a threat right now in this new generation of console wars is going on right now for pricing wars, you would literally see the price already drop for said console, because they would be like, all right, we got this wrapped up, it's over with, we won. That's what you would see. You would already see the price, and that would be it. But you don't. You see all this stuff going on right now, and Xbox, and I think, and PlayStation has another conference that's going to be happening later this month. So it's kind of like you got all of that going on, and we should hopefully see pricing then, but they're still trying to undercut each other and be like, okay, well, if they go first, then we could be like, all right, the PlayStation, like we said, the PlayStation was like $500. All right, now we're going to undercut it, and it's going to be, you know, $400 for the actual disc drive, and then the digital version is going to be $300 or something like that. You could see that pop off. And, you know, same thing for the Xbox as well too, because Lockhart is supposedly supposed to be a lot cheaper than the actual Xbox Series X disc drive version. So it's like, okay, we're getting into that on top of that, and then you have the specs and stuff like that that are, you know, somewhat similar, but let's be honest here, the Xbox is a lot more powerful. And when you go onto the PlayStation site, you see that they have all the accessories popped up, which we'll be talking about here in a second. But you guys see right here when they have, you know, ray tracing, 4K TV gaming, up to 120 frames per second, 120 hertz output, you know, HDR technology, 8K output. And then you come over here to Xbox, and they're talking about 12 teraflops of power, true 4K gaming and 8K ready, 120 frames per second, and then 1 TB SSD, which PlayStation is like a little under 1 TB SSD. But it's like, yes, the Xbox is more powerful, but we've seen things running on the PlayStation. PlayStation looks amazing as well too, especially with the games and stuff like that. Because let's be honest, in this day and age, the games are seriously what's really driving, because a lot of people want to game more. I mean, a lot of people, look at these consoles and be like, okay, yeah, that's great, it's very powerful, but what are the games? And that was the big thing that was lacking on Xbox's side, which is why we have so many games and stuff like that showcase, which is one of the reasons why I will say this right now, that when Xbox has their next showcase, the biggest thing that a lot of people were complaining about was that Xbox had everything on Game Pass. So everything that was coming out, this year and stuff like that, you didn't need a reason to upgrade to the Xbox Series X. I just want to go ahead and put this out here right now. If you think, as someone on Xbox right now, and even PlayStation players that don't know, if you seriously think that all the games that you've seen are going to look as good, play as good on the Series X or PlayStation 5, like now when they come out, something's wrong with you. You smoking something, because they are not going to look that damn good. I can promise you, I can seriously almost promise you that. I mean, look at the damn fiasco of Black Ops 3 whenever it came out. You remember what Black Ops 3 looked like? It looked like potato. It straight up looked like potato. Like 100% graphics, potato graphics. Like it was like so unbearable. And I'm not going to say that all of them are going to look like that later on down the line. But when it comes to like Avowed and Fable and stuff like that, that's like years off. Xbox right now is hoping that, like, I'm gonna skip that stuff for a second. Xbox is hoping that everyone is off the Xbox One and onto the Series X and like Lockhart, stuff like that, by the time these games come out. And that's the same for PlayStation. Like, they're hoping that everyone has already made the leap to the next generation by then, because that way they don't have, no one has to go back and be like, okay, we got to optimize this game for PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One. Because in all seriousness, Xbox is discontinued the Xbox One X right now. And that already should tell you stuff right there, that like Xbox One X is still very powerful right now. Very, very powerful. But if they're not doing anything for that anymore, they're discontinuing that. What does that tell you? That games in a year or so might be going, like, I mean, think about it right now. Does anybody make any games for 360 right now? You see games optimized for 360 and stuff? No, you don't. And in a couple of years, you're not going to see that for these games too. And plus, if you're thinking, oh yeah, I'm still good for another 2 years, these games are going to look amazing, something, no, you're not going to get the same experience. And that's for sure. You're really not going to get the same experience at all. And talking about the games, I can look at PlayStation 5 games right now. Spider-Man looks amazing. Horizon looks amazing. Ratchet and Clank, as much as I don't really care about it, it looked good. Gran Turismo, I'm not in on racing games so much unless it's like, Need for Speed and stuff like that every now and then. Gran Turismo looks great. Forza, obviously on Xbox, was amazing looking too. Like, you got Sackboy. People, love these games. And that's not even like all the games right here. Like, if I go down through here, like, you see all these games. Demon Souls, another one that everyone is going to be crazy for. Destruction All Stars, and then you got all the other games down here for Ghostwire Tokyo. Godfall right there was another one that they just showed a couple days ago. That was actually crazy dumb looking, and I really want to play that. And that's someone from an Xbox that has an Xbox that wants to own both games at some point. I'm really looking forward to that. Kenna was great too. There was actually the Pathless. That one was, wow, that was breathtaking. I think Solar Ash is that astronaut with the little girl or something like that, but I'm not really all that worried about that one, because that one looks like it's far off as well. And then you come over to Xbox and you see Halo, Fable, which is going to be big, Avowed, which is going to be big, Fire X is going to be really big. Stalker 2, the medium, you know, Warhammer 40,000 Dark Tide, Watch Dogs Legion, which is going to be on obviously both. Yakuza, you got Scarlet Nexus. Like there's so many different things going on. And and also another thing, I'm very obviously more adapted Xbox. I think the Xbox controller pretty much looks about the same, except a couple different things is really changed on it, and it does look great. And if I go up to the PlayStation 5, the PlayStation 5, at first when I didn't realize that the actual PlayStation 5, oh, where was the, I think it was in accessories that I seen it. Yeah, I didn't realize that these were actually clear. I thought they were just white buttons with the arrow and stuff like that, like painted inside of it. That's what I thought it was at first, but whenever I went back and looked at it before I started this video, I was like, oh man, that actually looks great. Like that looks really, really great. Like I actually liked it. And if we're talking about, if we're gonna go through and talk about accessories, let me just put it this way. When it comes to the biggest accessory right now that you're really gonna need is your storage, because right at this point right now, 1 terabyte is like you're probably gonna get 3 decent sized games. Got it! If that on your main base console, because look at Call of Duty right now. Call of Duty Modern Warfare is like a 200 something gigabyte download, and they're still going. So it's like that game could be like 300 or 400 gigabytes by the time it's all said and done. Like that's huge. That's almost half of your storage already. Think about that. And think about PlayStation as well too, especially with the whole, when we talk about PlayStation and their storage as well too, it being like, hey, you can go out and get any kind of hard drive system, or you know, SSD, external hard drive, whatever, and plug it in. You can't get any one of them. You have to get the one that matches the PlayStation, you know, speeds and stuff like that. So if you put in one and your shit blow up, you like, what? Like as soon as you plug it in, boom, your PlayStation blow up. You like, what happened? And it's because, you know, you didn't really do any research on what you can get, what you can actually use. Like I will say that is one thing that Xbox done that I personally like, is the fact that they got these storage. Now 1 terabyte for storage is like, it's not a lot in terms of like these big games, but in terms of like storage just in general, it is. But in terms of like how big these games are going to be, it's not a lot. The only issue that I can say right now on Xbox that I'm having trouble with is hopefully they're not crazy dumb priced. Like I hope that they're not like $60 for a cartridge, because my goodness, that there's not going to be a lot of people that's going to be having a bunch of these. And if honestly, I would be like, yo, get me a cartridge. If I have an Xbox, I'd be like, yeah, can somebody just get me a cartridge or two for Christmas, and then that's good. Then I'm good. But because how these cartridges are pretty much set up, these, you know, SSD drives, I'm thinking that people are going to use them the way that I see them using them, like I would use them, and be like, okay, I'm taking, say, this one right here, I'm taking this one, and this one's going to be my fighting games, and then the other one is going to be like racing games or first person shooters or something, you know, whatever's not on my actual console as my main games that I play. That way I can just switch out. That's what's going to happen. And it comes to like accessories as well, I think there's going to be like some kind of little stand that either third party or maybe a Microsoft official is probably going to have for these cartridges as well too. That way you can go ahead and like put them beside your Xbox and have them like slanted in, like that way they lock in, and you could be like, okay, this one's my fighting, this one's this one, and be like, oh well, how would you tell them all apart? I'm gonna assume D brand's gonna come in this one, because let's be honest, D brand's really huge, so I'm gonna assume they're probably gonna have like skins that you can put on these cartridges as well too, just like you can put on your, probably gonna be your Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. Like PlayStation charging station, that's gonna be big too, just like Xbox, that's gonna be big as well. Hopefully I'm pretty sure they're both going to be USB-C type, because PlayStation's headset is USB C type right here. So They'll probably both be USB-C C type as well, which is great. You got the media remote that maybe some people are going to get. The HD camera, I don't see a lot of people owning unless you actually are, you know, making gameplay videos and broadcasting and stuff like that. That's the only other way I see you having the HD camera. In all seriousness, and I don't even see anything about VR stuff. I don't see anything about if it's like 4K or anything like that. They'll probably look. They'll probably have find out more in here, so they'll be like, yeah, this is 4K camera. Oh, features a 1080p, so it's not even like 4K or nothing. It's just 1080p, built-in stand. Like on Xbox's side, I honestly don't know if I want to see it connect, but if they do a connect, I hope it's like 4K instead of like 1080p at this point. I'd hope it was like 4K as well too, but it probably costs a good little grip. Like you go back to PlayStation accessories, I can see a lot of like the remote being like $20. This camera, I can see this camera probably being like $60. The headset, I don't know if it's going to be coming with the PlayStation, but if it did, that'd be kind of cool, because you know how back in the day with 360 and PlayStation, they gave you like PlayStation 3, they gave you like headsets and stuff like that. Remember the Xbox One ear headset that was like cheap as hell? Maybe Xbox does a little bit more like that too in the bundle, or maybe this one is. But it looks like this accessory is literally just an accessory, and it's not going to be in the base of the PlayStation 5 unless you get some kind of deluxe edition or something like that that comes with a lot of these accessories that maybe you could choose from. Maybe that. But in terms of Xbox, is probably, you can look at the same thing, headset. The only thing different is that Xbox has these 1 terabyte SSDs that you can slot on in. And also another thing that I want to say before I get out here too is I do personally think that Xbox will have other kind of accessories that's going to let you be able to put in like 1 or 2, actually not 1, but maybe like 2 of these SSDs. That way you can have more already put into the back of your PlayStation, well, your Xbox. That way you don't have to keep switching them out 24/7. Either them or a third-party company is going to do that one. Regardless, I know that's coming, because that's like, that looks like too big of a thing that a third-party company would just not do. You know, they would definitely do that and be like, hey, instead of like having to take out so many, here's a thing where you can have 2 in. And I don't see it covering these vents for exhaust and stuff for heat and everything. I don't see it covering this. I see it being like, here's the storage expansion right here. I see it being like there's a slot that you stick in, and then it has like 1 that you can put in here, and then maybe it comes up a little bit right here, and there you go, bam, there you can put the other one in too. That way you can have 2. So technically you have up to 3 terabytes of space in your Xbox. And that's not even saying that they might not even come out with 2 terabyte or 3 terabyte SSDs later on down the line, because I personally see that this might happen. And same way for PlayStation, I do think PlayStation will probably come out with an actual PlayStation accessory that's going to be like a hard drive, extended hard drive as well too, that maybe they can do. I can already see that happening as well. So in all seriousness, the takeaway from this one is that get hype. Like, yeah, get hype for the new generation. The only thing that is going to be very, very, very bad is probably the amount of money that you're going to be shelling out for accessories. Because let's be honest, a lot of people already shelled out probably a lot of money for the accessories that they currently have for current gen, with other controllers, like Elite controllers on Xbox, scuffed gaming controllers and stuff like that. Like, I think the only thing about Xbox is you'll be able to take those controllers over and play on Xbox. And I think PlayStation is you can only play like using PlayStation 4 controller with only PlayStation 4 games on the PlayStation 5. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's what that was. If I'm wrong, please feel free to politely correct me in the comment section, but I think that's how that was. But yeah, that's honestly about it. And I keep looking over on my Xbox because I'm like, all the other accessories that I'm sort of thinking about besides charging stands and, you know, headsets and stuff like that, which I still think is going to be like the same, just like the PlayStation 5 is. They're going to have all this stuff too, and the remote and everything, but they just don't have it here yet. I still think it's going to be, you know, somewhat the same. So my takeaway again of everything is just get hyped for everything that's going to be coming out. PlayStation 5, Xbox are both 100%. They both know that they have competition. Xbox is more of a competition than they were to PlayStation in this generation coming up, and PlayStation knows it. So we still got our pricing wars right now. And I would personally like to say, when I end off this video, and say it right now, if you're someone that sees both PlayStation and Xbox and you think, man, I really want to play both games, like both sides of games, if I was you, I would skip out on getting the disc consoles and get the actual digital versions of the consoles, because like I said, Lockhart's supposed to be a whole lot more cheaper than the actual disc drive Xbox Series X, and we don't know if PlayStation 5 digital is going to be a lot less expensive.
What the hell did you just say?
Or just a little bit more, well, just a little less expensive. We don't know. But if so, I would say if we get the prices, I would get the digital versions of both of them. That way I have both versions of both consoles. I can play both of the game exclusives and stuff and not miss out on anything, especially if it's like almost as much money. And when I say almost as much, I mean, like, yeah, you're probably gonna be paying a little bit more, but if it's like not a big gap of money from just getting one console, I would say that'd be the better buy and get both of them. That way you can be like, yeah, I got PlayStation and I got Xbox, I'm good. And Xbox Series X, the first one they showcased, I'm going to be able to play Fable and Avowed and all these games on there, so I'm not missing out on anything. And that's how I see it. But that's all for this one, guys. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys did enjoy. This was a longer video, I know, but I went ahead and wanted to really talk about this because I see so many people catering to, you know, brand loyalty stuff and fanboyism, and pretty much just trying to get a rise from like all PlayStation 5, well, all PlayStation players and then all Xbox players, just like trying to like pander and cater to them. That way they can get more likes and stuff. And right now I'm just like, I'm not doing that. I just want to be like right down the middle and being like, hey, both of them got amazing games and they're gonna be amazing consoles. So trying to give you guys more insight of like what would be the best deal and stuff like that, kind of really go for, and what's maybe going to be less expensive or something like that. But if you guys did enjoy, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications where you get notified when we go live and put out more videos. And I'm out, guys. Peace.